Okay, I'll keep it a little bit short on the description, but essentially, I've mentioned in some of my videos recently that I messed with something in my OBS format, and it made my videos upload way slower. Like, it would take hours for a video that was only like 10 to 15 minutes, whereas prior it would only take like almost about the same time that the video is. Like a 10-minute video would take like 10 minutes slower, or even less. But I edited a video in my editing system, and then it uploaded like normal, so I'm pretty much just going to try and do it through here from now on, because it'll save me so much annoyed stress of like, if a video is going to come out way later than, you know, way after when it was planned. Like if a chapter comes out, say like an Eden Zero chapter or something comes out, and it's like late, it's like in the evening for me, it won't even get fully uploaded till like late at night or something, and that was really bugging me, so I'm going to try and do it like this from now on. But anyway, the thing I really wanted to talk about right now is the whole question around Suzaku's Dragon Slayer type. Because the fact that he's, you know, Red Dragon, I know a lot of people are thinking more towards like, well, what if it's fire or something? Which is it's an easy thing to assume, because like his namesake and his whole design, you know, having to do with like the Phoenix and whatnot, that it could have to do with, you know, with a fire or heat like ability. Personally, if I'd go for something more kind of like plain, for very kind of standard in aspect of what it would be, is I'd go for maybe something more like Blood, because with the other colored Dragon Slayer that we know of, Sting's is white, and it's not like, it's weird because it's not just the color white, because he's shown he can just eat stuff apparently that's white, like he ate that arrow like in the first chapter, you know, that he and Rogue showed up. But also, it's like a mixture of light and holy. It's two different attributes combined. It's like a variation of what you would kind of like see as like the stem for it. Like, it's not just plain light. Similar to how like Wendy's sky is like a much bigger, kind of broader thing than outright just like wind or air. But with Suzaku, the thing that I noticed recently, like it slipped my mind entirely, is like if you think about Sting's whole style, though, is like similar to that of like a white mage, though he doesn't have, he's not like a healer or anything, but it's like in the idea of obviously like a holy fighter and whatnot, someone who's more on that kind of style of magic, but, you know, directed more in the Dragon Slayer format. I would think that maybe that could apply to Suzaku as well, and we look at something kind of like a red mage, and I think that actually holds a bit of weight, just in theory, because Mishima is a fan of like the Final Fantasy and the Bravely games and whatnot. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if, you know, if you're a fan of something and you really like the concept of either a class or a character or whatnot, you're like, man, I really want to have that in my series. That just happens when you're, you know, a creative person, when you have your own like things that you're really into. Like, you're a big fan of X. I mean, you can look at something like how Toriyama was a big fan of Terminator, and that's how he kind of like thought up the stuff with Cell and whatnot. But with the idea of a red mage, it's essentially like a mixture of both a healer and a offensive spell person. Think of kind of like Wendy, but more towards like, I guess like in the more broad sense of like a spellcaster, but I think that his will be not necessarily like spread across different types of magic and elements. Like, it could just sit with blood, but it could also sit with, you know, sitting with the heat stuff. But I think the idea of a red mage fits really well with this character, because he's a Dragon Slayer, so primarily he's offensive based. His magic is designed for combat. It's designed for close quarters combat, you know, being very durable, being a very in-your-face fighter. And we even saw in the, you know, in chapter 77 of 100 Years Quest, he's very fast, he's very dangerous. You know, they didn't even see him move to strike all those Sumayaku when they were coming towards the, you know, people in the Whiteout Village and the Grand White Priestess and whatnot. And personally, I think the blood might play into it. Like, maybe he didn't actually like get up; he just kind of like slashed from there, maybe affected like blood of their body or something, or who knows what. But the general idea, I think, fits, because if he's also a healer, or at least not in like the sense of maybe like full healing, you know, like Wendy, where he could just heal other people. Maybe it's more of like the opposite, kind of like how for Shelly, like her Sky Dragon slaying magic could heal herself. Maybe Suzaku can only use the healing aspect on himself, which would fit into like the idea of the Phoenix, which would be really cool, and then use the offensive side for more of his damaging spells. It's going to be a really interesting kind of style, but I think it fits with the way that the previous, again, discolored dragon and dragon slayer has been displayed with Sting. And it's a really weird thing we haven't gotten much of, but it's fun to like think about in general, because when you have at least a couple pieces to kind of like look over and connect, it gives at least some form of gives some form of clues to try and work together for him. I'm hoping that we see exactly what his attribute is in full within the next couple chapters, but we'll see. I mean, even in the designs for the Red Mages, they're shown with, usually very kind of lean, sleek like builds, long, elegant swords, like way more of like a Western sword than like Suzaku, who's got like more of an Eastern style sword, like some form of cool dragon katana. And, he's more of like this kind of vagabond samurai kind of looking dude versus like some European magic sword fighter. But it could still fit. I mean, even in the color designs, I mean, it runs with it. But just to wait and see. I thought it'd just be fun to talk about, because again, I've been hyped for Suzaku since his initial like reveal, and obviously in the last chapter I was very excited to see him. So we'll see exactly where that goes and exactly how he's displayed in the next couple chapters. So, regardless if I'm right or wrong, regardless if it's like a heat based, it's blood based, or if it's this red idea of like a red mage or what, could even be more towards the idea of a phoenix. Regardless, I'm excited for it. But anyway, other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, friend the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. Tell me your thoughts about this and what you think Suzaku's like dragon attribute, how it's going to play out, and it'll be more described is. Other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, friend the like button, subscribe, like I said, and thanks to everyone who's already subscribed. Thank you for listening. Bye.